Hi, my name is Steve and I like to do smartphone videos. I got into it a couple of years ago and I find it very enjoyable and rewarding. In this video, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the gear that I use. Now, I am a lone photographer. I'm out there all by myself. So everything I take, I have to carry. And so I have to be very weight conscious. So let's get into how I do my videos. The first thing I have is a backpack. It's a relatively small one. It's got several chambers. It's very comfortable and it's lightweight. It has some outside pouches and it's a nice little unit. I get most of my stuff on eBay. I use eBay only because I know how to use eBay and there's a lot of stuff on it. That backpack holds all of my gear. If I'm going out with a specific shot in mind where I don't need all of my gear, then I will take an over-the-shoulder bag. This is just a small one-shoulder bag. It's enough for a little bit of equipment, a bottle of water. I also will take a folding tripod chair because sometimes it's nice to just sit down under the shade of a tree and take a break. Another thing that I always take is a monopod. This is my monopod. I use it all the time. It's one of my basic pieces. You can shoot up with it or down with it. You can shoot around corners. I use it as a walking stick, and I've made a couple of modifications on it. I took the bottom rubber piece off and I drilled through and I attached a brass sprinkler head on it. I know it sounds silly, but it works very well when out on the road. And if I have to, if I'm in a place where I can pierce the ground, I made this out of a piece of pipe, and I just cut it and I can attach it. And now I can jam that right into the ground and it'll hold it up. If there is one thing that you can put your biggest investment in, would be a really good monopod. I use this, like I said, all the time. Another thing is a bungee cord. It's very easy to take the bungee cord and you stick it in a picnic table and you put it around the monopod, and it puts the monopod right up against that table and it holds it very firm. Bungees are obviously good for all sorts of things, but it stands about 5.5 feet. Next segment, I'm going to show you what's in the backpack. This is everything that is in my backpack, and I have it divided by departments. I have the camera department, I have the sound department, I have the power department, I have the maintenance department, and I have a small, very lightweight tripod. I have a selfie stick, a cleaning squeegee ball, better than a can of air, a stick for soft ground for my monopod, and a little table mechanism that I made up for the tripod. So let's get into these one at a time. All of my gear is kept in Ziploc freezer bags. This is a gallon size. I also use quart size. I've also doubled up some gaffer's tape or duct tape. It's the same thing. And I've got a little split in here and a staple at the end, and I can hang this on a branch or on the tripod or on my belt or something. Inside, I have my old Canon ELPH camera, which I use as a secondary backup camera. I don't use it a lot, but it comes in handy if I want to do a cutaway. This I really like. Again, a lot of this came from China. I'll wait 2 or 3 weeks, spend a couple of bucks, and I get a nice little tool. This is a clamp. It's very nice. You can clamp it on picnic tables or a post or even a limb or something, and it is really versatile. These little legs come down and lock, and it becomes a tripod. And it's very nice little item, very lightweight, and I use this item a lot. Next thing I have is my CPL lens. Now this cost a little bit more. Again, I got it online. I think it was about $15, $16, but it really makes your photography pop. Makes the sky pop, makes the cloud stand out, and it removes glare and helps with your contrast. It comes with a lens cap, and this is just a little coffee token I have that sits on the back, and this clamps right onto your smartphone. Next thing I have is a little suction device. I can put this on the windshield or a piece of glass or any smooth surface. And I use this if I'm going to do like something out of the front windshield, or where I need a camera on one of the side mirrors, or excuse me, the side windows of my car, or at the window of the house, if I shoot time lapse of clouds going by. This is a nice little tripod. It's made out of metal, got a nice stand to it, and I put this if I need to put it on the end of the selfie stick, which is one of the reasons why I got the selfie stick that I did. Here is just a little camera attachment. This is a camera holder. It is not spring loaded. It's a clamp, and you can rotate it if you want to have any kind of special effect, or make sure that your camera is on a strange angle, or if it is a straight up and down. This is a little standard little phone spring-loaded clamp for the phone. This is a spring-loaded clamp, and it has a shoe on the top in case you want to put a light on there or something else. This is a very lightweight little tripod. It's foam with a couple of wires down the middle, and it's a nice little tripod. So that's the camera department. This is everything that I take when I am out on the trail. This is the sound department. Sound is very important, and a lot of times if you are just relying on the microphone built into your smartphone, you're going to get a lot of dropout the further away you get from the camera, and there's a good chance that you're going to pick up ambient noise and wind noise. So I have several microphones. I have a lavalier mic, the one I'm wearing now. It is a 3-band. I have a lavalier mic, which is a 2-band, and then I have a set of earbuds. I have duplicates, 2 of the exact same package, because one of your weak links in videoing is when you break a cable. So, or if you accidentally snag a mic, it can ruin your whole shot. So again, I get these from China, relatively cheap, and that's why I buy a couple of each kind. I then have extension line. I'm using one now. Again, I have a backup. I think that's about 25 feet. I tried to use a wireless mic at the price points of $70 to $100, and I was very dissatisfied. There were a lot of dropouts. They would just stop working for no reason. If you weren't stressing the system, they would just shut down and then start back up again. And I need reliability. When you're out there in the country, you need to make sure that what you're doing is going to come home with you. So then I defaulted back to the old school practice of just using an extension line. Another thing that I have is a 3-ring pigtail. One end is for a microphone and the other end is for a headset, and you can check your playback. It's very simple. There's not a lot of stuff here, but what I have, I've made sure that I double up. So this is the sound department. This is the power department. Digital photography is very power hungry. In fact, that's what it's all about. There's no film, there's no mechanics. It's all electrical. And you don't want to be out on the side of a mountain and you lose your power, and it ruins your entire shot, and then you have to walk back an hour to the car. So what I've done is I have made up a power department, and I have 2 separate types of power. Number 1 is an external power. I have gone online and I've purchased batteries. They're really cheap. I have a couple of extra batteries. I keep these charged at 100%. And if a shot is over and I'm ready to break down the shot and my camera battery is low, I'll shut the camera down, I'll take the back off, I'll put the new battery in, and then I will go on to the next shot. If I am in the middle of a sequence of shooting and my battery's going low, I use an external type, because you don't want to break the camera down and then you have to reset your shot. So this is a little power bank. I got it from China. It's 5,600 milliamps, so it's good for 2 full charges of the camera, and it has a little flashlight built in. Most of them do. And then, to stay with my philosophy that your weak link is your cable, I have 3 power cables that go from my USB into the power socket. I then also have some items, some binders and little rubber bands and things that I can use to attach the power bank to the camera or to the tripod. Again, if I'm on the tripod, I can always put the power bank in here and attach it onto the tripod by using the baggie. It's a really good little system. Again, I try to keep everything in bags because it's easy to find and it keeps everything dust free. So this is the power department. This bag contains the maintenance and miscellaneous department. In here I have all sorts of stuff that I might need. Let's see, I have a Sharpie in here. I have a line level that I use for the tripod. I also have a couple of very small Phillips and standard head screwdrivers in case I have a screw loose. I have some wetting agent, cleaning agent, and some cotton swabs. I actually have a fan, a USB fan. If I'm out in the summertime and things are getting very hot and I'm not in the shade, I can take some extra power and I can cool the camera down. I've had to use this a couple of times. Here is a reflecting device that I got with my selfie stick that goes on the back of the camera holder on the selfie stick, so you can see what's going on. I also went to Pep Boys and I bought a spot mirror, and I cut out a little piece of plastic from a milk carton, and I can put this on the back of the camera, and so it'll help me with my framing. I also have some miscellaneous paper clips, some wire, a little tiny binder clip, some rubber bands. I have some Post-it notes. I have a couple extra carabiners. The others are hanging off the backpack right now. I have a counterweight for my selfie stick, which helps with the bouncing of the stick. I can screw this into the back of the selfie stick, and it weighs more than the camera. So as the selfie stick is extended out, I tend to can balance it more, so I don't get a lot of up and down and up and down. I know there are motion stabilizing devices that you can buy. They're typically about $150, and I'm just not prepared at this time to spend that kind of money. Then I also have an extra baggie and a couple of little twist ties. So that's the miscellaneous department. Anything that I might need. All right, moving right along, I have a little duster, a little squeegee ball with a nozzle on it. It doesn't weigh very much. It puts about the same as a can of dust off, but it weighs a lot less, and it suits my purposes. This is a reflector. It has a blue side and it has a silver side. I used to use a car shield, but this became very cumbersome and hard to use. I had to drag it around, so I got this little fold up, and it works really well. In case you want to use a reflective light, you can clip it to a tree branch or put it on the ground, covered with the corners with a couple of rocks, and it works really well. This is my selfie stick. I looked around for a lot of selfie sticks. I went through a couple of them before I found this one, and this is by far the best that I have ever used. It extends out nicely. It has a little convex mirror here to help you with framing, and it also has a removable Bluetooth button, so you can take pictures and zoom. It does not start the video camera running, only the still camera. One of the reasons why I got this particular stick is it's nice and sturdy, but it's lightweight, and it has a camera screw in the back, which is very nice if you want to, you can attach this to the top of the tripod, and you can get up about 8 or 9 feet. And if you're shooting a still, you would just take your remote. So it's a really nice little selfie stick. Again, I'm not selling anything. I don't have any kind of sponsors. This is something that I have found by using other selfie sticks, and I really like it a lot. I have several tripods. Most of them are bigger, and they weigh a lot more. So I was looking for a tripod that would work well for a smartphone camera, and I found this little one. It's an Amazon Basic. Again, I'm not selling these, I'm not endorsing them. I'm just saying it works well for me. It's very lightweight. If you were using a very heavy digital camera, it might not work for you, but for a smartphone, it works very, very well. It extends to about 52 inches, I believe. I'd have to look at the specs on it. And it's nice and sturdy, and it doesn't weigh much at all. Now, I designed this to go on the tripod. If I'm out in the field, I don't want to have to go back to my backpack every single time. So I went to the post office and they were throwing away some of these plastic corrugated mail bins. They're about that big. And I got a couple of them and I made a table. So what this does is I cut a hole here and I cut a slit here, and that goes through like this. And I can use one or two. You know, if I'm just using one, I can take my binder clip and I can clip it like that, and it's nice and sturdy. It will actually hold a bottle of water. It'll hold other items, your filters, extra battery, what have you. If I wanted to really do a lot, I can put on an additional an additional 2 to make it 3 total. Just slide that in. It's plastic, so you don't have to worry about it. And then I take my binder clip and I clip it in the middle, and it holds everything down. And I've used these tables. They're great when I'm out, and it's one of the best little ideas I ever had. So this is my tripod and my lightweight corrugated plastic service shelves or table. Well, there you have it. That's the gear that I use when I'm out doing my smartphone photography. If there's anything there that you can use, go for it. I'm glad I can be of some assistance. The creative process is not just knowing where to point the camera, but how to get the camera to where you want to point it. So thanks for watching, and maybe I'll see you out there.